Risk is a way of corporate life and comes in many forms. Every organization, no exceptions, faces the risk of unexpected, harmful events that can cost it money, or worse, shut it down. Business leaders, IT teams, and risk management professionals who know how to effectively manage those risks can give their company a distinct competitive advantage over less risk-aware rivals. Risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, and controlling threats to an organization's capital, earnings, and operations. These risks stem from a variety of sources, including financial uncertainties, legal liabilities, technology issues, strategic management errors, accidents, and natural disasters. A successful risk management program helps an organization consider the full range of risks it faces. Risk management also examines the relationship between different types of business risks and the cascading impact they could have on an organization's strategic goals. This holistic approach to managing risk is sometimes described as enterprise risk management, or ERM, because it focuses on the need to anticipate and understand risk across an organization. But risks aren't all bad. Enterprise risk management emphasizes the importance of managing positive risk too. Positive risks are opportunities that could increase business value, as long as they're recognized as opportunities and acted on. Not taking such risks can damage an organization's business. Indeed, the aim of risk management isn't to eliminate all risk, but to enable companies to make smart risk decisions that help improve business performance and increase enterprise value. With that in mind, a risk management program should be intertwined with organizational strategy. Here, we'll examine the basics of risk management, as well as the benefits, challenges, strategies, and what else businesses need to know about it. For a deeper dive, explore our complete collection on all things risk management by clicking the link above or in the description below. The risks that organizations face have grown more complex, fueled by the rapid pace of globalization and digital transformation, as well as other recent developments. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic initially manifested itself as a supply chain issue at many companies, but quickly evolved into an existential threat for some. Well-managed companies made rapid adjustments to the business risks posed by the pandemic. But going forward, organizations are grappling with various new and ongoing risks, including how or whether to bring employees back to the office, economic fluctuations, environmental and climate-related issues, and how to make supply chains less vulnerable to disruptions. Companies that currently take a reactive approach to risk management are, or should be, considering the competitive advantages of a more proactive approach. That includes taking steps to increase business sustainability, resiliency, and agility. Forward-looking companies are also exploring how AI technologies and sophisticated governance, risk, and compliance, or GRC, platforms can improve risk management. Various standards and frameworks document ways for organizations to manage risk. One of the best-known resources is the ISO 31000 standard developed by the International Organization for Standardization, a standards body commonly known as ISO. ISO 31000 outlines a risk management process that includes the following 5 steps for identifying, assessing, and managing risks. First, identify the risks faced by your organization. Second, analyze the likelihood and possible impact of each risk. Third, evaluate and prioritize the risks based on business objectives. Fourth, treat or respond to the risk conditions. And fifth, monitor the results of risk controls and adjust as necessary. While these steps are straightforward, risk management teams shouldn't underestimate the work required to complete the process. For starters, it requires a solid understanding of what makes your organization tick. The ISO 31000 process also includes upfront methods to establish the scope of risk management efforts, the business context for them, and a set of risk criteria. The ultimate goal is to know how each identified risk relates to the maximum risk the organization is willing to accept, known as risk appetite, and what action should be taken to preserve and enhance enterprise value. The Committee of Sponsoring Organizations of the Treadway Commission, better known as COSO, has created another enterprise risk management framework that's also widely used. It includes a set of 20 principles organized into these 5 interrelated components. Governance and culture. This involves setting risk management oversight responsibilities and documenting corporate culture, including an understanding of business risks. Strategy and objective setting. As part of strategic planning, the organization must determine its risk appetite and then align that with business strategies and objectives. Performance. Different risks are identified, assessed, and prioritized in accordance with the company's risk appetite. It then decides how to respond to them and implements the required actions. Review and revision. The organization reviews business performance and how well the risk management process is functioning, then decides whether changes are needed to improve the process. Information, communication, and reporting. Information about the risk management process is collected and shared internally through ongoing communications and reporting. The COSO framework also recommends taking a portfolio view of business risks. To help do so, companies can record information about identified risks in a risk register that's used to track them throughout the risk management process. Various risk maturity models are also available. They can be used to benchmark risk management capabilities and assess their maturity levels. When it comes to identifying risk scenarios that could affect an organization's ability to meet its business objectives, many risk management teams find it useful to take a top-down, bottom-up approach. In this case, top-down means identifying the organization's mission-critical business processes and working with internal and external stakeholders to determine the conditions that could impede them. Bottom-up means identifying potential threat sources like earthquakes, economic downturns, and cyber attacks, and assessing their potential impact on critical assets. You'd think effectively managing risks that could have a business impact should bring numerous benefits. It does, including increased awareness of risk across the organization, more confidence in organizational objectives and goals since risk is factored into business strategy, better and more efficient compliance with regulatory and internal mandates because compliance work is coordinated, improved operational efficiency due to a more consistent application of risk processes and controls, improved workplace safety and security, and a competitive differentiator to be exploited in the marketplace. But with benefits come challenges too, and risk management is no different, even for companies with mature GRC and risk management strategies. Challenges include higher costs, initially at least, because risk management programs can require expensive software and services. Greater emphasis on governance, which also requires business units to invest time and money to comply. Difficulty reaching consensus on the severity of risk and how to treat it, which sometimes leads to risk analysis paralysis. And difficulty demonstrating the value of risk management to executives without hard ROI numbers. Simply put, a risk management plan describes how an organization will manage risk. It lays out elements such as your organization's risk approach, the roles and responsibilities of risk management teams, resources that will be used in the risk management process, and internal policies and procedures. ISO 31000's overall 7-step risk management framework for enterprises is a popular option that can help you build and implement a plan. Those steps include: develop a communication program to convey your organization's risk policies and procedures to employees and other relevant parties. Define the organization's risk appetite and its risk tolerance, which spells out how much the risks associated with specific business initiatives can vary from the overall risk appetite. Define the risk scenarios that could have a positive or negative impact on the organization's ability to conduct business. Analyze the likelihood and impact of each risk and create a risk heat map, also known as a risk assessment matrix, to visualize the findings. Evaluate risks and decide how to respond to them. Possible approaches include risk avoidance, risk mitigation, risk sharing or transfer, and risk acceptance. Apply the agreed-upon risk management controls and processes and confirm they work as planned. And finally, monitor the plan's performance and look for key risk indicators that might trigger a change in strategy, then report the results to internal decision makers. With the increased spotlight on risk management, many companies are not only re-examining their risk-related practices, but also exploring new techniques, technologies, and processes. They're looking at ERM and GRC platforms to integrate their risk management activities, manage policies, conduct risk assessments, identify regulatory compliance gaps, and automate internal audits. Plus, software that helps measure and mitigate risks is improving. For example, risk sensing tools can detect trending and emerging risks. Businesses are also formalizing ways to manage positive risks, and they're connecting risk management initiatives to their environmental, social, and governance, or ESG, programs to make operations more sustainable and ensure they're acting in responsible and ethical ways. All these developments and other measures won't eliminate business risk, but they're designed to make it more manageable and less risky.